Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Woo-wee. Hello, friends. Welcome to the show. It's Hy-Vee Today. This is Tony Tone Friday, wait for it. Let me do the patented, we also call this the Hy-Vee glance at the name tag, right? Let's see if you can tell if I glance at the screen really quick to confirm that it's February 7th. Did you see me do it? It's this patented move. If you work for Hy-Vee and you encounter another Hy-Vee employee, you're like, hey, it's good to see you, Brad. And you just hit the name tag, and it's seamless. So welcome to the show, people watching at home. We're also watching with you in your closet. So today's Friday. It's the 7th of February. A lot of Valentine's Day stuff on the set. This guy is holding Sammy the Sad balloon. Again, if you wait until a week from now on Valentine's Day, at 5 o'clock, and you come into Hy-Vee and you say, you got any roses? This is what I'm going to have. I'm going to have a half-deflated balloon tied to a mini Snickers. Now, this could be yours for $9.95. Make you a good deal on it. But I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to have Sammy the Sad balloon. I'd rather you have Harry the heart-holding, I don't know what this is. It's a superhero. So, you know, again, if you're struck for ideas, here's Harry, the heart-holding superhero, and you're super. Wouldn't it be great if the grammar was wrong? You're super. It would be like Facebook, because everybody's grammar is sometimes wrong. Not everybody. Sometimes I say things and people take it too literally, and they're like, I posted something the other night on my personal Facebook. They're like, you know, people still read. I'm like, yes, it was called sarcasm, so I need to lay off the sarcasm. Today is National Wear Red Day, so I got the memo, and so did Mike Snook. We'll get to him in just a second. Kyle is... he's kind of wearing red. You'll see in a minute. He's never heard that before either. So I want to mention two things before we get started. That's true, though. It's National Wear Red Day, February National Heart Health Month, right? Heart disease. I think it's actually Go Red for women because heart disease affects women and men, but it's definitely one of those things that you might not know that women have a pretty great risk of heart disease, unfortunately. We've got a 2-day fuel saver that starts today. So if you don't want to pay full price at the pump, very quiet in here, by the way, almost awkwardly quiet. I feel like I have to talk softer, like not a lot of chatter at the tables. There we go, a little bit in the back, but otherwise very still in here. Almost makes me a little uncomfortable. So this is going on today and tomorrow. 25 cents off per gallon with every 50 bucks you spend. The more you spend, the more you save. So turn your groceries into cheap gas. You know where you can't do that at the Aldi or the Fairway or the Schmal Schmart. They don't have a fuel saver, right? We've got it, and you can do it today and tomorrow. It's fantastic. I believe my wife put in a Aisles Online order to pick up later, and that'll be included in the fuel saver. So why wouldn't you come to your Muscatine Hy-Vee? And we've also got all the tchotchkes for Valentine's Day. The last thing that I'll say, again, is Valentine's Day related. On the back page of the Hy-Vee ad this week, talking about floral. And remember what I said yesterday, how much trouble are you in, fellas? $45, $75, $150, or $200? A lot of options there. Or how much do you, look at that one for, even the one for $45 looks good. And then don't forget the wiener dog balloon tied to candy. The other options, like the orchid duo, and of course, all the Valentine's Day balloons you could think of, including some that sing, right? You ever seen those balloons? You give them a little tap, slap, and then they start singing. So I'm assuming we'll have some of those for Valentine's Day. Hi to Jen and Colleen and Adam that are watching live on Facebook. If you're with us, I appreciate it. All right, let's get down to business. We're going to talk about one of my favorite places in Muscatine besides Hy-Vee and my basement is Contrary Brewing, which has been, I think it's been here for 5 years. Thank you, Kyle. And they've got a lot coming up. So to my right is my coworker here at Hy-Vee, Mike Snook, who also enjoys a part-time gig at Contrary. And Kyle McDonald, you are the maker of the beer?
I am.
Is that, now, give me a shake. What's the official title? Is it Brewmaster?
Do you have brewer?
Head brewer.
Yeah.
So and we're sitting here in the Market Grill Express. Right over our shoulder, we've got one of my favorite Contrary beers, Cure for Pessimism, on tap. Was that one that you were like, I got this idea, Mark, for this beer?
So that one actually is one of Mark's original
okay. I didn't know
beers that I think has been on tap pretty much since the beginning.
That's awesome.
So that's Mark's kind of standard West Coast IPA.
Sure.
Definitely one of our kind of original flagship beers.
So and we'll talk to Mr. Snook in a second. He's so happy to be here. Mike and I had an agreement to never have him on the show because he helps me, and we've almost like avoided him with like the cart cam and the different cameras. So this is a big deal right now. But how do you go? I guess what's your background? Are you from the area? And then how did you become like head brewer? That's incredible. Like,
Sure.
Is it just so? Give us your background.
So I went to middle school and high school here in Muscatine, and then was gone for the better part of 20 years, and came back in August of 2018 to take over the head brewing position at Contrary. Coincided with the major expansion at Contrary, and so they needed to kind of bring in some new brewing staff. So I came over and have come in and kind of taken over the head brewing duties, and it's allowed Mark, the owner, to transition into more of an administrative type role. Real quick about kind of my backstory and how I ended up into brewing. I spent 6 weeks in Germany after my junior year of high school. Of course, in Germany, you're able to drink beer at 16.
Sure.
So I enjoyed some beer over there and kind of fell in love with the culture around it, honestly, as much as the beverage itself. Very communal type atmosphere for drinking beer in Germany. Beer gardens with big picnic style tables. 3 or 4 of us from Muscatine would sit down, go to the beer garden, sit down at the table, and 2-3 hours later, you have a dozen new friends from all over the world. So very cool culture. Came back, wrote my senior composition paper in high school on kind of the German brewing culture and the German brewing process. Then I went off to college. It kind of went on the back burner because any of the beer I had access to at that time was kind of your mass-produced lagers and stuff, which really have never done it for me. Then I kind of stumbled into a job in a kitchen at a brew pub in Iowa City back in 2006, and harassed my way into the brewery. And then I've been in the right place at the right time a couple times. Moved out to New Jersey in 2007.
Wow.
They had just let their assistant brewer go, so I walked into that job. And then 2.5 years later, I took over as the head brewer, did that for 7 years out there in New Jersey. And then, like I said, I came back here and took over as head brewer at Contrary.
Is it impressive? I mean, we're in certainly this craft beer boom. If the analogy is like a roller coaster, it doesn't seem like it's coming down, which is great for places like Contrary,
Absolutely.
right? But for me, I've been in Iowa since 2002, went to St. Ambrose, and I mean, is it like in the last 5 to 10 years, would you guys say that it has exploded to the point where, I mean, even if you come into a place like Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits, the selection, and I love the think local, drink local, the local selection from the state of Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say in the last 5 or 10 years, 10 years maybe nationally, about 10 years ago is when we saw the boom in New Jersey. There had been 17 or 18 breweries for a long time, 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And then some laws changed, and now New Jersey's up well over 100 breweries.
Wow.
Iowa's pushing 100 breweries. And it's great because small towns can support their own local brewery and get great fresh locally brewed beer.
Yeah.
And I don't see I think it's going to continue to grow, especially for the small local breweries. I think the regional breweries are going to be the ones I think who take that hit and are going to see some loss in sales. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of new regional breweries. I think it's really going to be hyper local. Just because there's so many breweries. Why drive 25 minutes to a brewery when you could drive 5 minutes to a brewery?
It's fantastic. And Mr. Snook, for you, was it a matter of, I mean, obviously you're a fan of Contrary before getting involved on the side, but and Mark and Robin are easy people to like. It's just such a great story, that place. You go from Mark's like, I'm going to stop this government job, being a mailman, and open a brewery. Like, it just doesn't happen that often. So how long had you known those guys, and then how long have you been behind the bar now?
I've been behind the bar just over a year.
Okay.
Basically, it was my wife and I going in there about once a week and having a few beers, and we got to know Nikki and Katie when it was just those two behind the bar. And then a couple years later, Katie was pregnant and was going to be gone for a while, and they needed help. And I said, well, heck, I'm here enough. Why don't you pay me to be here? I mean, what better place could I be at to hang out? And I mean, I love it. Mark and Robin are great, and I'm glad they gave me the opportunity.
So there's a couple of things coming up that I want to mention, but it's also good to have that that backstory on yourself, Kyle, and Contrary, because we can't assume that everybody out there has been to Contrary. I mean, I get it, you know. I would tell you to get down there. Great view of the river. They've got food now, but specifically, if we went in, I guess, order of events, there is a trend of live music on Sundays, which I'm a big fan of.
Absolutely.
And you have that again this Sunday. I'm trying to remember who's there. I thought I had written it down.
We have Justin Goodchild this
Justin
weekend,
Goodchild.
this Sunday.
Okay, perfect. And is that, what time does he start? Like 2?
Usually,
Okay.
music usually starts from 2 and goes from about 2 to 5.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
I'll tell you what, it's been really nice. My wife and I have been down Bobby Ray Bunch, who I've known for a number of years, and that darn Fernando.
Darn Fernando.
Oh my gosh, the guy is amazing. Contrary Brewing Facebook page right there. There's Justin Goodchild. So that's this Sunday, February 9th, 2 o'clock. Some takeovers in there. And then the big thing, the reason that we're here, and Jeff Mitchell was going to be here, but he's a little under the weather, the second annual Decadence Day. So explain, because this is one of those events where you're going to have a new Contrary beer, but probably will only make it through that day?
We will have a number. Yes, we'll have a number of special beers for that event.
Oh, okay.
We will have our standard 19 beer tap list plus a cider, and then we're also going to have 8 special one-off beers just for Decadence Day. Just to name a few, we'll have our salted caramel porter, which last year we released on Decadence Day, huge hit.
Huge.
We're going to do a coconut variant on the salted caramel porter this year as well. We'll have our German chocolate cake, which is always a hit. We're actually going to do a hazelnut coffee version on that as well. We have our Chocolate City Imperial Chocolate Stout on right now. We're going to have a raspberry and a vanilla variant on that as well. We have our peanut butter porter that's always a big hit, and we're going to do a peanut butter and jelly version of that. We'll have a hazelnut brown ale. We'll take our Zoom Doggy, which is our coffee milk porter, and add some maple syrup and cinnamon to that. And we'll also have our Life After Breakfast smoked coffee maple porter with some chili peppers. So most of those beers will be the single 5 gallons, and hopefully, you know, if it's like last year, most of those will be gone that day.
So how do you make beer taste? Because it's such a dumb question, I know, but for the folks at home, when you say, give me one example. One of the chocolate, what was it German chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay, so you talk about a German chocolate cake beer, right? And I've had it, and it's one thing to hear like German chocolate cake beer, but then when you drink it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's all there, all parts of a German chocolate cake or whatever it be. Like I saw a picture you guys posted the other day. It was a collaboration with. Is it Gelzig? How do you say that brewery? Gezellig, and you were like dipping popsicles in.
Oh, so that was actually 5 Cities.
Yeah. 5 Cities. Okay, my apologies. But like, would you throw a cake into the thing? I don't even know. Is there a cake hop? How does it work? I mean,
it's it's a combination of the way the base beer and getting a beer that's a little bit on the sweeter side.
Okay.
And then we add freshly toasted coconut that we toast ourselves. And then we add liquid cocoa nibs, which gives us that chocolate flavor. And they just kind of all comes together, the sweeter beer, some coconut, some of the liquid cocoa nibs, and boom, you got this chocolate coconut deliciousness.
But how do you know? I mean, obviously it's what you do for a living, so again, it's kind of a silly question, Kyle, but how do you know when it's like, oh yeah, this is perfect? And how many sips, or unless Mike's the official sipper, I don't know, how many trial runs are we talking about when it comes to bringing these beers to being something that somebody can walk in and get?
Sure. I mean, a lot. I always like to equate it to cooking or baking.
Okay.
A chef knows what different ingredients are going to contribute to a given dish, whether it's a combination of herbs and spices or sauces or marinades. And so brewing's kind of similar. After you've been doing it long enough, you have a good understanding of the different ingredients and kind of what they bring to the table. And once you've been doing it, like I said, it's a lot like baking or cooking. Once you've done it enough, you know how to put things together to kind of yield the final product that you're looking for.
This Decadence Day again, that's coming up February 22nd, is going to be very busy. Contrary, so if folks go, don't be surprised. It's a big deal. Mike Snook, do you have a favorite, and whether it's something that's coming back or a different alliteration, I guess, or is there something right now that you're like? Because when people walk in, if you're behind the bar, it's nice to have somebody that's dabbled in everything that's on tap, so they can give you their honest opinion. I think that can be intimidating. That's the last thing you want, is for somebody to come in to a place like Contrary for the first time and just go, I don't know where to go. And you can get the flight of samples, which is great. But what do you like right now?
I like the Life After Breakfast or the Zoom Dog. Yeah, I'm a dark beer guy.
Sure.
A lot of people are more of the IPAs, the hoppy bitterness. I'm not a big fan myself, but I will drink them just to know what I'm trying to sell to people. But I mean, you come in, you just come to the bar and ask us, and we'll say, what do you drink? What do you like? And we'll try to find some, and usually one of us is right on the nose with it. Or it's like, okay, I like this. Well, here, try this one, and okay, I'll take one.
I'm so surprised in chat it's up a little higher. Might be number 5. The Pig-Headed is a beer that is number 4. Okay, I almost was there. Right there, Pig-Headed American Brown. Kyle, I never thought I'd like a beer like that. I can't get enough of it. It's fantastic.
It's
and I know it's maybe just one of the it's there. Like it's not super exciting, but it's just very. It's like when I go to Contrary, I try to get what I like, and then I try to try something that's maybe out of my comfort zone or palate, right? Because I want to be open to try it, and that's where like A Cure for Pessimism. I never thought I would have liked it, and oh my gosh, and everything you mentioned at the Decadence Day. But yeah, so what about that Pig-Headed? Because it seems like there's a couple of beers on the menu that maybe are there more often than not.
Sure,
right? And that kind of maybe makes it easier for people when they're coming in and they're like, I kind of like this kind of stuff, and you could go try that one.
So one of the nice things that we have, the 20 taps, 19 of which are almost always our own beer, is that we can offer a wide range, and we offer 19 different beers.
Right.
So we can offer like our Kolsch beer, which is our lightest beer. We can offer the Pig-Headed Brown, some easy drinking, what we like to refer to as beer-flavored beer.
It's a dark beer that drinks light, which is what we tell people.
But then we also have the option, to brew, some more experimental stuff or some fun stuff. For example, the German's chocolate cake, or you mentioned the collaboration we did with 5 Cities last week, which is basically an orange creamsicle milkshake.
Holy
so that's what you saw us dipping into melting into the kettle there was some actual orange creamsicles. Then we added some lactose to it, and we added some hops that really accentuate that orange flavor. We added some tangerine puree. We'll add a little bit of vanilla when it's finished, and boom, we should have a beer that tastes like a orange creamsicle.
And after all this time, I mean, again, it's your job, and you want to make it perfect. You still obviously love beer, right? You can enjoy it, because somebody that's a chef or whatever might say, like, I can't, when I get home, I don't cook. Now, you're probably not. If you are making beer at your house, let me know. We're neighbors. Love to walk over. This is true. Very close by. Absolutely. Let me know if you're doing it in the garage. Taking the kids for a walk, honey. 6 hours later. Sleeping on the sidewalk, honey. But no, I mean, you're still able to enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. And that's, again, back to the 19 taps, if you get Mark or I or anyone, kind of is like, we should do something like this. We have the ability to do it because we can brew. We have our small system where we can brew as little as 31 gallons, which really allows us to play around. And then we have our big system, where we can do, 465 plus gallons.
Moly.
So, it's great having kind of a pilot system so we can play around. If I could backtrack really quick to
please, go ahead.
Day. We're partnering with West Hill Cakery here in town, and they're going to offer some cupcakes. Probably at least some of them will be made with the beer, and then we're going to do a pairing, with the cupcakes that they create with some of our beers. So just kind of joining a couple of local businesses together, and really, going all in on the decadence. Not just the beers, but we'll have some decadent cupcakes.
I don't normally have beer with my cupcake, but it is a Saturday in Iowa, so no, that's super cool. I just have to get to some of these comments on Facebook because I don't want people to think we're ignoring them. Tara Riggins' comment is the food, and yes, we'll touch on that in a second. There is a menu, full kitchen available, which makes it, because the thing that we were talking about with Jeff the other day is, you have kids, I have kids. Contrary should be on your radar. Place to go with kids. They've got food. I mean, my wife and I play Battleship a lot when we're there. There's stuff to do for the kids, and that's great. Isaiah Phillips says Decadence Day is the best day. Coral Danette from 7G says those guys are awesome. Isaiah comes back with I love Kyle's beard and Snook's beard, coming along nicely. Coral says, these are all comments from Facebook. Coral says, reminds me of the train conductor from Polar Express. And then Isaiah said, Tony reminds me of the guy that used to be on the radio with Red Hot and Tony Tone. So fantastic. These are no more comments from Isaiah. Although, keep going, Isaiah. You're only marvelous. So Decadence Day, 22nd, music this Sunday. music on Sundays, food. There's pizza right there. I was impressed with the nachos that had I like chorizo.
Absolutely.
Chorizo is very good, and then you can't go wrong with pretzel, deep fried pretzels and cheese. And I know it's not keto. I'm going to get lit up. Oh, you're not talking about low carb stuff. Well, everything in moderation. What do you want to see happen next, Kyle? Because Contrary in 5 years has done a lot. You mentioned the expansion, and I guess I hope that if you're there and maybe on Decadence Day that door will be open and you can peek into Willy Wonka's lab where these incredible, I don't even know what they're called, but it's unbelievable to see the operation. But what do you want to see happen next? I mean, it seems like the obvious thing would be to get some of those good beers canned and available in like tall boys or 6-packs or.
Absolutely. So one of our goals for the next year is to hopefully buy a canning line so we can start doing some packaging.
Yep.
We've also talked about in the interim doing some smaller format bottle releases, whatever that is, tap room only type of thing. But yeah, I think getting packaged goods out there so people can have options besides the crowlers to take home with them. And then, ultimately, long term, it would be, starting to get cans onto shelves at Hy-Vees and liquor stores and stuff like that. But packaging, I think is definitely would be the next big step for us.
And sometimes you can just have a housewarming party and buy a little keg for your garage.
Absolutely, so. We do offer kegs of a lot of our beers if people are interested for parties or special events or whatever.
Yes, and if you ever want to roll one down the street, we can catch it.
We can arrange. I think we can arrange that.
Yeah, I've only been trying to harass Mark into naming a beer after myself for a couple of years. I mean, I feel like, again, I'm willing to sell out, and if people think of me well for whatever reason, I know somebody capitalize on it, right? I mean, it could be, what about bacon?
I thought that was the pig-headed.
The pig-headed, Mike Snook says. That's very nice. What about bacon? A bacon beer to kind of play on some of the breakfast notes that you've mentioned.
Sure, and we're kind of, I think we'll keep tweaking the life after breakfast that we have on right now.
Oh, I see. That's a spoiler. I'm sorry.
And but I think if we increase some of the applewood smoked malt that we put in it, you can kind of simulate some of that bacon flavor, and then I'll go the coffee and maple as well, so you kind of have that complete breakfast flavor type thing going on.
That's nice. I like that. So that's we'll say stay tuned on that. Megan Francis makes a good point. There was a great Rotary event last night at Contrary. Mike Haggerty, guest bartender, saw a lot of pictures from there, and yeah, absolutely. It's nice to know, again, different events bringing people into Contrary, because you can't just rest on we're here, we're making good beer. You want to be able to take care of people in your own backyard, Muscatine County. But then what I love is I've been to Contrary a number of times, and there's folks that are saying they just drove in from Quad Cities, Cedar Rapids. You're right on the river. It's a great view. Temps warm up a little bit, and all of a sudden you got this deck. And I like nothing more than when being across the street in the field for Almost Friday Fest and looking across the street and seeing Contrary. So it's an amenity for Muscatine, right? Anything we can do to pull people into town will help with tourism and hotel-motel tax. So that's another whole part of the business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're I don't know if anything will ever come of it, but we have approached and talked to the mayor a little bit about potentially trying to do some sort of package deal or something like that to try and draw people into Muscatine. That is one of the complaints, I guess, for lack of a better word, that we get from people out of town, that come to drink at a brewery, and then, I have to drive back to the Quad Cities, or we have to drive back to Cedar Rapids, and with a world-class hotel 2 blocks down the street.
Pretty awesome.
Whether we come up with something where we partner with them or not, I would strongly encourage people.
I thought Mr. Peanut died. What's going
too.
I'm sorry. Was that you, Kyle, or no? You were not Mr. Peanut?
No,
okay.
I have never seen that picture.
I hope that's Mark under there.
That is absolutely amazing. But you're right. Sorry for interrupting, but having something worked out would make sense. I want to recap in the last minute or so. Isaiah saying the Loken Soul Kolsch, make that a thing. Nobody knows my real last name, Isaiah. You have to play on the tone. You can make the key tone and have it be like a keto light beer, and then just give me a check. It's fine. We'll work it all out. No, I just wanted to mention again this Sunday live music, Day of Decadence on the 22nd. If you jump online, countrybrewing.com, or on social media to just stay connected, I want you to try in 30 seconds and tell me why I should come around on sour beers. Because I feel like, and Mike knows this, I've dabbled. I can't say I've tried everything, but I've tried a lot, Kyle, and and it's no offense to Contrary. It's just I don't know if sour beers are for me. But why should I give them a go? Because you have this closest thing to heaven. It's called the closest thing to heaven.
Sure.
It's very good, but
It's that's our black currant and cranberry sour, our kind of our winter sour. Sour. The thing with sours is they're definitely an acquired taste.
Sure.
I can remember, going back 10, 15 years that a friend and I, dumped out, very expensive and hard to find bottles of sours that we didn't realize were sour when we bought them.
Sure.
And then we'd open it, take a whiff, and be like, oh, bummer. And then, we'd obligatorily pour a little bit into a glass, take a couple sips, and we'd be like, yeah, dumping it down the drain. So I would just say, keep trying them.
Okay.
Enjoy them, don't order a full pour, but ask for a sample, and might find a flavor combination that hits for you.
Well,
or maybe you'll never get into them, but I always encourage people, to keep trying things because your palate is always fluctuating. Think about coffee, for example. Most people, the first time they had coffee when they were a teenager, or whenever you first had coffee, probably were not, oh, this is the greatest beverage I've ever had.
That's a great point.
And now, as you grow older, you get accustomed to it. It's not this crazy, bitter, awful beverage. And so I encourage people to kind of do the same thing with beer.
It's a great point. Zoom Doggy comes to mind, is one that I didn't know, and I've come back around, and you're right. I mean, your palate can change, and that's what I like when you talk about having 19 beers on tap. That's great. All right, well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's awesome to have Contrary on tap here where we're sitting in the Market Grill Express. It's a great story. Dave Armstrong tuning in, watching live. Another great story with the Armstrongs and the brew and anything to bring people to Muscatine and small businesses supporting each other. I'm all for it, and Contrary is it's a good spot, that's for sure. Isaiah... Yeah. Yes. Tara Riggin said bacon beer, and Isaiah said the city should adopt that as our official slogan. Where a river takes the turn for the bacon beer. That might work a little bit better than the one they went with. Thank you both for being here, Mr. Snook. Pleasure. Can't believe it happened.
Thanks
Kyle,
for
good to
having
see you,
us.
buddy. Contrary Brewing in Muscatine, live music this Sunday, and then on the 22nd, it's Decadence Day with, you said there's peanut butter porter and jelly. Somehow it's going to be peanut butter and jelly.
Yep. Yes.
Holy smokes.
One of many, but yeah, should be a great event.
And Fernando.
And Fernando.
Next day.
Oh, Fernando on Sunday the 23rd. That guy his voice is angelic, and I'm okay with saying that. He's playing. he's in Puerto Rico playing music right now, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we're gonna go to, what do we got? Aisle cam or cart cam? Perfect. We'll go to the Toyota Muscatine cart cam, and then we're gonna talk to Lori Landfair in just a second. And it's nice to be with you on Friday. There is the Toyota Muscatine cart cam. Steve's behind the wheel of steel, and he's going to head towards aisle 8, I reckon. Because, again, we're 7 days away from Valentine's Day, and if you need to get something for your significant other, aisle 8 is a great place to go for all things Valentine's Day, including candy, hearts, different boxes of chocolate. If you have kids like I do that need to send Valentines to their classmates, we've got Toy Story Valentines. I saw some dinosaur ones in there. So that's aisle 8 here at the store. We're approaching that. We're going to hang a right in that Toyota Muscatine cart cam. I saw my buddy Frank Cruz with Toyota Muscatine in the store this morning. It was great to see Frank. And there you go. Look at that. Bunch of candy. Oh my. I'm sure there's sugar-free options, right? Of course. Some of them are harder to pronounce than others, like the Ferrero Rocher. I don't know if I'm saying that right. There's Reese's. That's easy to say, Cheyenne. I can say Reese's, okay. Don't ask me to say Ferrero Rocher something. Thank you. And it's all right there in aisle 8. So please check that out and get ready, because Valentine's Day is 7 days from right now. 7 days. This isn't like... Don't get caught off guard. And if, again, I say this with sarcasm, but if you're the type of person that says, like, well, my significant other doesn't want anything for Valentine's Day, I promise you they would like something. It's the thought that counts. Even if it's a single rose, maybe you get a box of chocolates and you eat all but one piece and then you give it to them, whatever the case may be. I don't want you to just ignore it. All right, so that's aisle 8 here in the store. So again, we're sitting here Friday, February 7th. It's National Wear Red Day. My friend Ricky Hetzler with Unity Point Health and Trinity Muscatine Public Health says, thank you for wearing red. National Wear Red Day. Go red for women. Yes, of course, because February is, again, National Heart Health Month, and heart disease affects women. Today's also Fettuccine Alfredo Day, Periodic Table Day, Send a Card to a Friend Day, and Bubblegum Day. And they're all real because we research them on the internet. So you know it's true. Lori Lanfear.
Good morning.
How are you? It's so good to see you. Welcome.
Long time.
Yeah, I'm so glad that between Chad and you, this makes a lot of sense to have you here. I've known you for coming up on probably 8 years, which is wild.
Oh, at least.
I think your business, Global Wireless, was the first place that I did a live radio broadcast.
I remember
from.
that, yes.
First place in Muscatine outside of the studio was at your shop, so that was cool. But you're here to talk about Strikers Special Needs Bowling League, right?
I am, and I appreciate you letting us
Oh gosh, my pleasure.
bring this up, because I know you have an issue that you are near and dear to your heart
Oh
as well.
yes, absolutely.
The Rose Bowl has a bowling league called the Rose Bowl Strikers, and it starts February 12th for an 8-week program. This is like the 16th or 17th year, I think.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
it's free to, it's open to anybody. It's an 8-week session, and it's $8 per night, and we treat it like a regular bowling league.
I was going to say, yeah, and that's what's so fascinating to me is, like, we have this great community that supports our special needs young people and adults.
Oh.
We have over 150 participants with Special Olympics, but bowling is something that I thought, because I don't know a lot about this Strikers League, but I know that you've been involved with it for a number of years. So what drew you to wanting to get involved with it?
There was the bowling alley started this league, whatever, I think it's 16, 17 years ago, and they asked our business, Lanfear Construction, to be a sponsor. So we said, sure. Well, they needed help with the coaching. So my husband and I, Cliff and I, both went down every week and helped organize and keep them onto the right lanes and so forth and help them. And once you walk in the door, that is it.
Yeah.
It is a heartstring that you cannot believe.
Sure.
I get more out of it than the Strikers do. It is so rewarding. They are the best people. They're great athletes. They love the game.
Yep.
And once they understand their ability, no matter what their disability is, they have ramps that will help them bowl.
Sure.
They have the gutter guards to keep the ball out of the guards. We have the bumpers and the no bumpers divisions of the league. So it is, it's quite the deal.
I love the pictures that we're looking at on the screen. You know, my brother-in-law Nolan has been involved with Special Olympics, and I've said this numerous times. Some of my favorite events I get to do each year are the upcoming Special Olympics basketball game with the police and fire. I referee that, and then Crossroads annual Christmas party. And there's like 70 or 80 special needs folks that are they're my friends at this point, right? I've known them, and some of them have known me since I was on the radio in Davenport.
Sure.
And I love it. I love if I see anybody in the store. They're the best. And you're right. And it's no surprise to hear you share that when Cliff and yourself first got involved, you probably blinked. It's been 16 years or however long, because it's just
I was laughing because
so
someone said, "How long
fulfilling."
has that been going? How long has that league been?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't even tell you because I know it's just been forever. But as you said, once you get involved with this, through Facebook, we have become friends with them. So I'm messaging. I've got one athlete or bowler for almost a solid year. She calls me every day.
Oh, I love it.
And just to say hi in the morning, it is just the best. I can't even tell you. And I tell everybody that if you have time and you want to do something that will change your life, because it's actually changed mine, to show up on Wednesday night. We do 8 weeks, and it's seriously amazing.
Yeah, and the thing about bowling, and you touched on this, and you and I know, I mean, you have maybe more bowling experience than I, but it is a sport that everyone can do, and that's what's so great, right? And there are ways to help make it more accessible, and it's so exciting to have, of course, the Rose Bowl, before that Playmore Lanes in Muscatine for all of these years, and to see value in having the Strikers Bowling League, right? I mean, that's a big thing for a business to understand, because of course they've got leagues and bowling and birthday parties and everything else that comes with it, and the bar side and live music, but man, to have committed to that for that many years is awesome. So good on you, Rose Bowl.
I was just going to say, I have to tell you, big shout out to Troy Smith, the manager.
Sure.
He and Gary and all the people Caleb in the kitchen, they make sure that the staff is well ready for them to come in on Wednesday night. What's really cool is on Wednesday nights there is regular leagues that are on there.
Sure.
And so for this session, they move everybody down so the strikers can take up 1 through 20 lanes 23 and 24.
That's fantastic.
And then when they are done, then they move them back down. But we have the bumpers, and we have 1 through 12.
Sure.
And everybody just knows that the strikers are coming in, and everybody welcomes them. I have other leagues wanting to do 50-50 raffles to help donate toward their prize funds or their banquets and so forth.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about the abilities, the ramps and so forth, I have to tell you there's a story. There's one gal, I have a gal that's got a disability.
Sure.
And she uses the braces to walk.
Okay.
She had gotten down to 1 brace, and she didn't like going to physical therapy.
Okay.
Since she started bowling, she gets up on Wednesday morning and says, I can't wait to go bowling tonight. She goes and has gotten off of her braces.
That's fantastic.
Because she's worked harder so she can come and bowl. And I mean, it's just things like that.
What a great success for her.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so
you really get to share in their joy, and that's and you know this, again, I don't have to tell you this, but certainly whatever your day looked like before you get to Strikers Bowling, it's better.
Troy and I joke and say, this is our Friday. It's the best day of the week.
Right.
I mean, it's
so
just the
great.
best day.
So we're sitting here on Friday, and we're 5 days out from the league starting. So February 12th is when it'll start, and that's important to note because if you're watching and there is someone in your life or you know that likes bowling or might like it and maybe hasn't got involved before, please
encourage them to come and try it.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
Is there an age limit?
There is no age limit. I have them from 14 on. I had till Bobby left. He was 72.
I love Bobby.
Yeah.
We're probably talking about the same Bobby, right?
Bob, he moved to Kansas City.
Oh,
yeah,
I wonder if that. I know. Maybe. I don't know if I knew
names. that
Bobby. I know another Bobby.
Yeah.
That's probably Bobby's
He
gonna
was
be mad
from
at me.
Wapello, but
Oh, okay.
Bobby Ball is who you're thinking about. Bobby
yes.
Ball.
But then I think I know the Bobby that was from Wapello. How long did he move?
A year ago.
Okay, I probably knew that Bobby as well.
Yeah, his house caught fire, and so he moved to relatives out in Wapello. But there's so many independent. There's Optime and New Choices, and Crossroads, of course. But they're all some in Lutheran.
LSI?
Yes, LSI. So they all have their programs, but there are so many individual pays. And who knew? I mean, I had no idea, not having children of my own, and you to be blessed with 3 beautiful children. They're adorable and healthy.
That. Yes.
So, so the concept that these people go through every single day to come down for 2 hours and forget all their problems and have a lot of fun.
Yep.
I mean, it is.
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, my whole life, my cousin Michelle, right? She's the first person that I knew that had special needs, and her mom, my Aunt Maureen, who passed away a couple years ago, she refused to let us see her as different. And when that is instilled at you at such a young age, it really sticks in your craw, sticks with you, right? Like,
it does.
So I never, and with my brother-in-law, Nolan, that a lot of people know, but even before I mean, I never see people's differences or challenges or disabilities. I just see them as people, right? And that's all they want, right? Listen, they are just trying, like Lori said, they're just trying to go about their day, whether it's going to work or wherever they find themselves. And just like the rest of us, they want to let their hair down and have fun. Oh. And if they can do it at the bowling alley, right?
I also have to shout out to Andrew Gens, comes from Wapello. He's a teacher, not from Wapello, I'm sorry, he teaches at L&M.
Perfect.
He has a sister who bowls in our league, and he comes and volunteers his time. And all I do is actually, everybody's like, you organize. I don't do this. The bowling alley, I just help them. I don't work for the bowling alley. And I'm on the Muscatine USBC bowling board, and they're really not affiliated. We just try to make sure that I'm their cheerleader.
It's fantastic.
The association or the league's cheerleader, and I collect their money. That money that they pay, that $8, is one, it's a discounted rate for bowling, and 2, it covers their banquet. So it's not like it's not a money maker. It's a zeroed out account every season. So I want people to think they're just making money. It's not it at all. It's just for them to have a good time.
Yeah, just to get out. And again, like, bowling is such, brings people together. I'm sure that there have been friendships that have been forged amongst the bowlers over all these years.
Yep.
It's super exciting. And then again, this starts on February 12th. So if you're looking to get involved, or know someone in your life that could benefit from being a part of Strikers, I encourage they reach out. Is there anything else we need to mention about Strikers?
No, I just double checking to make sure I covered it all.
Yeah.
That anybody's welcome, and we'd love to have them come down and try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Other side of the coin, how's business?
Good. Keeping things busy. So I'm now, as you all know, it was Sprint, and no longer have Sprint office here in Muscatine. They did away with the mom and pops. So I'm a travel agent for cell phones. I'm a cell phone consultant. So I can help you with your plan to pick out who's the best carrier, phone, and so forth. And
great.
And it's working well, thank you.
And if you need to build a house,
yes,
could help you build a house. So there's like this multifaceted Lanphier empire, right?
Well,
it's pretty cool.
You can't make a living doing one. You have to do multiple.
Oh, I love it. No, I mean, again, I'm happy that you're here, and what a great thing to be a part of after all those years. I mean, it's to have it continued in Muscatine. I just love it.
I'm very
and by the way,
proud of them.
February 12th to April 1st. So this is a long deal, but again, for folks to know that they have something to look forward to.
Well, it's
8
weeks.
It's great.
And the bowlers, they absolutely love it. I mean, I have them calling me. I got a text message last night. I didn't even know who it was because they just have my number. They know where I am and they find me. But for them to be that excited about it, I mean, I have them calling me all the time. Last session, the fall session, we do it in the fall and in the spring. In the fall session, I had 81 bowlers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. My goal is to hit 100. That would be I would just love that, to have 100 bowlers.
I would love
Troy
to have
at the bowling
it
alley
happen.
says, where am I going to put them all? I said, that's not my problem. We'd like to make
well,
sure we get
Lanphier
100.
Construction could add on to the bowling alley, Troy. I don't know if you know that or not. But yeah, 81. So this again is not a small league that we're talking about.
No.
This is a lot. So yeah, this is great. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate letting everyone, because there's some people who don't know about the league.
Oh, they need to know.
And if they're not in certain programs and so forth, they don't know about it. So I thought, well, this would be great, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's great to see you as well.
You too. Thanks.
So again, if you have somebody in your life that could benefit or be a part of Strikers, starts next week on the 12th of February, runs through April 1st. We showed
Come
it to you on
down
the
and try it
screen.
out. It'd be great.
Or just go to the Rose Bowl and cheer alongside Lori and encourage everybody.
We just try to keep them so that they're up to bowl when it's their time, and help encourage them, and
that's great.
Be their cheerleader.
It's so great, and it's not like old school bowling where you got to get like the sheet under the light and then try and keep score. I'm so glad it's automated, because I spent a lot of time as a younger person in a bowling alley with my dad, because he was obsessed with bowling, and boy, the automated system is so much better than me trying to do the grease pen or whatever.
The motto is to keep the ball out of the gutter. That's all our
well,
thing is.
listen, gutters and strikes. I think you've probably rolled higher than. I think my high is like maybe I cracked a 200 once. Have you hit the 300?
Yeah.
Of course. Oh yeah, look at Lori. How many times? How many times?
5.
See, this is the thing about bowlers. They know exactly how many times they've rolled 300 games.
Memorable games.
No, I'm not saying it's not. It's just funny because my friend Skylar Delano is watching, who also works here. He's probably rolled. He could tell me exactly how many 300s.
He's a great bowler.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Here's how many 300s I've rolled. It rhymes with 0 because it is 0. But it's awesome to have that happen. They just posted on the Rose Bowl Facebook the other day that somebody rolled the 300. So
yeah, there's several. In fact, last night, Troy, the manager, and Scooter Evans, way to go, guys.
Yeah.
But keeping that in mind, the thrill of that 300.
Yeah.
To have a striker, one of the bowlers, in our league, if they get knocked down a pin or if they get a strike.
Yeah.
Stand back, because someone's going to be screaming.
Yes.
It is, and they all cheer each other on when that happens. And if they throw 2 strikes, it is like, oh my God, it is. And that joy that you get from like watching a child open up a Christmas present that they've always wanted, it's the same concept.
Yep.
Well, it is for anybody who throws a strike, let me tell you. But anyway, while you're bowling, that they have, the joy is it's
so true.
Priceless. It's just
I can't even
priceless.
imagine what happens if somebody has a turkey, 3 strikes in a row.
Stand back.
Someone's
Someone's going to get hurt. They're screaming and running and cheering up and down.
That's so awesome. All right, so February 12th, strikers are back.
Yes.
Definitely get involved if you can. And at the very least, stop down to the Rose Bowl and support them. Thank you again for being
Thanks
here.
again,
I appreciate
Tony.
it.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. And I got a couple of things I'm going to mention. And then Roman from our bakery is going to pop on because he's got a new product, I guess. Something called I know what a fritter is, but this is, oh my gosh, this is almost like a super fritter. This is like if a fritter fell into some, you know how Ninja Turtles were made? Like a turtle got into some ooze and then they became Ninja Turtles. This is like if a fritter, and not to say that there's toxic ooze on these. That's not what I'm inferring. Maybe it's a bad analogy. This is a fritter that's hit the gym. Is that a better analogy? This is a fritter that hasn't missed a meal. This is Tony if I was a fritter. I don't know what else to tell you. It's the biggest fritter I've ever seen. All right, so let's get right to it. Hy-Vee Bakery Manager Roman Truitt's here. And Chad, all right, let's keep it there. Brad, you can zoom in or out a little, but let's keep it, not that people don't want to see Roman. Explain to the people at home, what are they looking at?
So this is our Mega Jumbo Apple Fritter. For Fritter Fridays, every Friday we're going to be having this while supplies last. I came in last night with the crew and we made 160 of these bad boys.
Wow.
I've got regular apple, and I've got blueberry, and I've got cherry, and I've also got strawberry rhubarb.
Now, can you hold one up? I mean, I know
Oh.
you don't want to handle it because, whatever, it's
Here.
a prop.
Look at this guy right here.
Look at the size of this
Like,
thing. Okay.
huge.
Now, I want you to tell the people, it doesn't even make sense. So this is a fritter, and look at that in Roman's hand. Keep it held
Yeah,
up just for
yeah,
a second. Look at that. Sun's out, guns out for Roman, by the way. Bigger than his hand. I want to guess on the price, and you tell me if I'm high or low. I would pay $5 for that.
It's about a $5 fritter, but on Fritter Fridays, it's only $1.
$1 for
Yeah.
a fritter that's bigger than your hand.
Yes.
Holy
Every
smokes.
Friday.
And the best part is, again, it's made fresh.
Yeah, fresh right here by me and the team.
I feel like just kicking the diet to the curb because blueberry is my favorite thing ever. So it's brand new. That
First day, yeah.
size,
First time we've ever done it.
So if you're watching and you're thinking, I've had apple fritters before, not as big as your head, right? You said that somebody bought one this morning and it was so big. What happened?
Yeah. So our 6-count box is about yay big,
Yeah.
and we put one in it, and it filled the whole box.
It's like a tenderloin in Iowa. It's like a
It's
fried tenderloin.
Yeah,
It exceeds the box almost. Almost. So, like you said, you came in last night to make these. So again, we first guests this morning were from Contrary Brewing. We were talking about making beer and getting the flavors right. Did you try the first ones that came out of the oven or what?
Yes, we tried out of the fryer. We tried the first
Out of the
ones out of the fryer.
Okay, they're fried.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we sampled one of each, and they
Okay.
were all absolutely amazing, especially the blueberry.
Holy smokes. So if you're looking for either a new pillow or a nice pick-me-up, a fritter for $1, though.
For $1.
$1.
Yeah.
It almost sounds too good to be true, Roman, but this is marvelous. Obviously, you can get them at the Hy-Vee Bakery. They're in your case. I took some good pictures. We'll post them online very soon, but in the meanwhile, they're here. Is this something, what's your intent? Do you want to have these every day? Is it just on Fritter Fridays? Is that what we're looking at?
Just Fritter Fridays.
Okay, so if you miss a fresh fried Fritter Friday, if you miss out today, or if he sold out at a certain point, which we would love to happen, you'd have to wait until Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. We're gonna go even bigger on Valentine's Day for it.
How could you go bigger? We're gonna need a bigger box, like Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, so we did 160 today, and for Valentine's I want to do 300.
That is a lot of fresh fried fritters on Friday.
A lot of fritters.
That's a lot of yeah. So, all right, that looks absolutely fantastic. Speaking of Valentine's Day, a week from today, my daughter was in the store. You know what, Chad? I'm trying to think if my wife tagged me in that picture on Facebook of Lucy eating a cookie. Maybe. My daughter was in the store yesterday. She's 16 months old. You know, she's got the baby shoes on, which babies in shoes are like the funniest thing ever. First time she's really walking around the store, goes to the bakery, gets a iced sugar cookie in the shape of a heart. So what I'm getting at is Valentine's Day is next Friday. Don't forget the bakery has options for Valentine's Day, right?
Yes, we'll have 9-inch heart-shaped cookies.
Okay.
All decorated up. We'll have 12-inch chocolate chip cookies decorated up. We can even special make them for you if you call ahead and order them.
Yeah.
We're also going to have different colored cutout heart cookies.
Perfect.
We'll have 9-inch heart cakes. You name it, we're probably going to have it.
And I tell you what, I like the idea of the donuts. Look at Lucy. She's so happy. She doesn't even know that she's selling out for the man. Look at that. Could be the face of the bakery.
Could be.
How many times did she drop that cookie on the floor in the store? 2 times. Did she pick it up and keep eating it? Yeah. That's how you build your immune system, eating floor cookies. But yeah, like donuts. So you've got really nice decorated in the red and white scheme donuts. So maybe donuts are in your future for Valentine's Day. Or if you just want to be the best coworker ever, you pick up some donuts. Because my thing with your donuts here, like, it frustrates me when I see people that are willingly driving like 45 minutes that way to get a painful donut, as I like to call it. See what I did there? When you've got them here in the store, the people are making and decorating by hand, and it's achieving the same thing, right? You have a donut with bacon on it. You have a donut that has an Oreo cookie on it. So if that's what you're after, or like the novelty kind of like it's so much stuff on a donut, it's here in Muscatine, 5 minutes from your house. Like, I don't want to drive 45 minutes for donuts. Never.
No, and we've got the biggest donuts in town, like hands down.
Amen to that. Schmunkin' Schmonuts over there, you ain't got nothing, right? I mean, no offense. I mean, offense, I guess. I can't say no offense after I take shots like that. No offense. I mean, all the offense. You've been in the bakery for a while, bakery boss now. Brand new Fritter Friday. Those are $1 each and every Friday. Do you have a favorite item in your bakery? Do you look at it and go, all right, if I got to take one item with me today, here's the scenario. You're getting ready to leave. Your lovely wife Lainey's like, hey, bring home your favorite. Treat yourself. What are you getting? What's Roman getting as bakery boss?
Jalapeno med bread. It's my favorite.
Wow.
It's a Mediterranean bread. We have a few varieties of them, but that one is my favorite. I'm a spice guy.
Yeah.
So I really love the jalapeno cheddar bread.
That is a curveball. I thought you maybe go sweet. You go right into a jalapeno Mediterranean bread. I don't even know what that is.
I'm a bread guy, so I gotta have my breads.
Would I know what it looks like? It's right. Obviously, it's in the bakery.
Yep.
Right?
So it's a round bread.
Okay.
It's probably about 3 of these fritters together. And it's got just like chunks of cheese melting out the side of it. You can see the jalapenos in it, just marbled in. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely amazing, dipped in cheese or made into grilled cheese.
Oh, stop yourself. Sweet mother of carbs. I will say this, we've had a mild winter. I've grilled in the winter, and what I'm getting at is if you're grilling or if you're going to start grilling soon, you owe it to yourself, especially if you come to Hy-Vee, best meat department in Muscatine. Hy-Vee's got it. You come to Muscatine and you get I fell in love with brat patties a couple years ago. So if you're going to get a brat patty, you owe it to yourself to get a bakery fresh bun, whether it's a regular bun or a Mediterranean jalapeno double cheese, whatever. But it makes all the difference, doesn't it? Yeah. So whether it's a hot dog bun or brat bun or bakery bun or a jalapeno cheese Mediterranean thing, it's a weird combo of things to try and say. But you agree, right? I mean, it can make all the difference.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to get your brat patty, we've got our gourmet buns all season round now. It used to just be for the summer. So now we've got our Asiago buns, jalapeno cheddar buns, onion poppy seed buns, and just regular garlic buns. And they're amazing with the meat department's products. Brat patties, hamburgers.
Yeah, pair them up, right?
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll mention, again, we're talking to Roman Truitt, bakery manager here at Hy-Vee. Fritter Friday, these are $1 each. They're massive. I wish I could just, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't have one, everything in moderation. But blueberry, man, you had to have a blueberry one. What I was going to say is another thing that we're getting ready to ramp up, wedding season. People are going to getting hitched. If you're getting married and you need a wedding cake, I want them to think about this place, right? Hy-Vee Bakery, wedding cakes need to go hand in hand. You've got a team that's been doing it for years. They're willing to have consultations with folks. There's nothing that they'd probably say no to stylistically. So just talk about that. That's a big part of the operation, are these cakes, whether it's for a wedding or look at these on the website. I mean, they're marvelous. But people probably come in with unique designs all the time, right?
Yeah, we get emails from people with certain designs they want, and pretty much I don't think we've ever said no to one.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always accomplish it for them. I mean, we even have cakes on display for weddings, birthdays, even for holidays all year round. We change them up so it sticks with the season, gives everyone a variety. We even do some fondant work.
Yeah.
And I don't think too many people know about that. And we have one girl that is pretty good with fondant. think that'd be nice for everyone to know.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people are
you.
kind of too scared to ask if we do defond it.
Listen, if whatever the occasion ultimately, right? But if it is that wedding and you know somebody, have them have the conversation, you know, and keep in mind that again the experienced team back there will get you taken care of.
There's a lot of years in experience.
Whether it's a 6-foot-tall Hy-Vee land Candyland cake for the cake auction, or it's me forgetting to order a cake for my wife's birthday, and calling Jody Fuller and her bailing me out with a red velvet cake at the last minute.
Yeah.
Jody got a Starbucks gift card out of the deal. She's money ahead. And then, of course, just any occasion. Maybe you're having a rough Friday and you just want to have a stack of fritters and a Happy It's Friday cake, right?
Yeah, we have.
Nobody asks when you get back there, what are you getting the cake for? I'm just really mad. All right, perfect. Well, here, go to town. It's somebody's birthday.
Yeah,
right?
it's somebody's birthday, and we got a cake for every occasion.
Absolutely, except carrot cake. It's just, are you team carrot cake or no team carrot cake?
I'd say I'm a little team carrot cake.
You're so biased. You might as well put Brussels sprouts on it. That's how I feel about carrot cake. It's not
that bad.
Yeah. But you know what? As my friend used to say, sometimes you put enough whipped cream or frosting on top of anything, specifically pumpkin pie, you put enough whipped cream on top of it, you forget it's pumpkin pie. Now I'm going to get hate mail from the pumpkin pie people. They're going to be very mad at me, you see. All right, if you're watching this, we're live on Friday, February 7th. While they last, Fritter Fridays, fresh-made fritters here at Hy-Vee Bakery. $1 each, absolutely massive. Flavors again, apple,
blueberry, cherry, and strawberry rhubarb.
Wow, so many options. Brand new product, fresh made by hand in store. $1 make you holler for a fresh fried fritter. They're absolutely huge. Thank you for being here, and I hope you sell out of all of these today.
I hope so too. Thank you for having me, man.
It's gonna happen, and go see Roman and the crew at the bakery. All right, very good.
All right.
Let's wrap up because we got a lot of things to talk about, including. Oh gosh, that's just what this town needed: is an animated Sherry Siwasing. Oh no! Oh my Lanta! Boy, is that the thing in nightmares? Sherry Siwasing and Matt talking. Oh boy, what is he saying? Was he saying I'm getting a raise? That's marvelous. Holy smokes! Oh, Hy-Vee store director Matt Schweitzer now is able to speak. I don't know how I feel about this. Can we go back to the Sherry one? Oh, Chris Anderson, local artist. I mean, bringing Sherry Siwasing to life, right? She's at Register 11 right now, and she looks just fantastic. I can't believe it. That is wild. So yeah, we've got a lot of good props on the set today. These orchids look fantastic. If you need it, I've got some bubble gum down here, fettuccine, Alfredo, the stuff to make that. And since it is National Send a Card to a Friend Day, look at this. This is a super cool card from our friends at the Hallmark Company. Again, Hallmark Company, if you want to sponsor the program, we'd take your dough as well. So look at that. There's like I didn't even see what was in there because it's covered on the back, but there's like some lovebirds in there. Wow, that's a card. How do you read it? This could be yours. It was $20.99. Today only $8.99. That's the everyday price. I was kidding. $8.99. You can personalize your own message on the back. The back of this one says, "Love everything about you, girl. Can't imagine life without you, girl. The smartest thing I've ever done is make you mine, girl. Love thinking forever, girl. Just enjoying life together, girl. You'll always be my love, my Valentine, girl." It doesn't say girl on the back. I was just adding that for dramatic effect. But that's a thing. Wow. Pop-up card with envelope. So this is like, I love ya. Happy Valentine's Day. Have fun putting this card together. Good luck. I didn't put it together. I would have probably broke it on accident. Well, that's probably a display card, isn't it? Okay. Happy Valentine's Day. Good luck putting the lovebird card together. I want you to be frustrated on Valentine's Day. I mean, look, it's nice. It's a thing, right? It's a thing. Yeah. That's cool. All right. So it's coming up. Valentine's Day a week from today. Keep that in mind. We got to get out of here, but I want to mention a couple of things. Let me not ignore any comments. Luann on Facebook says those fritters will definitely beat Casey's. I'm sorry, Schmacy's. No offense, schmacies, but our fritters are the bee's knees. Those fritters have been hitting the gym. Right? You see the size of those fritters? They were huge. All I wanted to do was take the blueberry one and in one bite, like a duck, just eat it all. All right, a couple of things to tell you. Starting this Monday, February 10th, the store hours here are changing at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. If you haven't seen this by now, that's the news of the day. So starting this Monday, February 10th, store hours 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. Please keep that in mind. And you'll see it when you walk in the store, and it's right there on the screen. This starts this Monday, February 10th, 6 to 11. Jeez Louise, I'm going to confuse people. 6 to 11, let me say that again. 6 to 11 a.m. are the hours. 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's right there on the screen. I should just stop talking, and I will. Thank you. On the back page of the Discover Muscatine this week, our ad is talking about how you can save money in the store. Very quiet in here again today. I almost don't like that it's this quiet. I'm so used to like background noise, and then today it was just very still. So on the back page of that Discover Muscatine, got some good deals. You don't have to compare. Save a trip to Schmaldi. Don't go to Schmaldi. We've got the deals here in the store. I don't want to say schmore. I don't want to just keep adding like, come to the schmore and don't go to Schmaldi's. Come to Hy-Vee, everybody. That's the only thing I won't add a schma to. So when you get the paper, flip it over, check it out, flip it and reverse it. It's right there. And you can see from pasta sauce to milk to vegetable oil and facial tissues and tomato juice and everything in between. Our price, their price, cheaper, better, friendlier. And then if you scroll down, Chad, of course, don't have to put a quarter in a cart. What are you doing? Putting a quarter in a cart. Makes no sense. Keep the quarter. Hey, keep the change, you filthy animals. That's a Home Alone reference. Free smiles, free courtesy people bagging your groceries. Fuel saver, of course. Locally owned, right? You want to talk to my boss, call Des Moines. You don't have to call Germany, right? And between our store and Hy-Vee Main Street downtown, over 500 people have jobs. So where you shop matters, not to mention all the support we've given to local places. How about $50,000 to the Y between this store and downtown for the Hy-Vee Kids Adventure Center, right? $2,000 at the cake auction. Hy-Vee as a company overall in 2019, $53 million donated back. That's a real number. And drop the mic. Walk away. Today and tomorrow, fuel saver event here in the store. With every $50 you spend, 25 cents gets put on your fuel saver. I'm trying to talk quick because we're late, but that's okay. We're going to get cut off for syndication. We're going to go live to no, we're not. I'm just kidding. But this is today and tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, February 7th and 8th. Fuel saver, flex it, right? Don't pay full price at the pump. Spend $50, 25 cents. You do the math. Spend $100. 50 cents, spend $50, 25 cents, $100, 50 cents, and so on. The more you spend, the more you save. And we'll leave it there because Mega Meat Monday, right? 2 birds, 1 stone, 2 birds, 1 cage down here. Mega Meat Monday is coming back this Monday, every Monday in February. 15 cents off per gallon with every 25 you spend in the meat, seafood, or deli departments. Again, you are essentially turning steak or shrimp or cheese into cheap gas. That is great to have here. I don't know why I am abbreviating everything that I'm saying. Trying to catch my breath. Is that bad? Should I not breathe like that? That's like the thing they teach you is make sure you don't sound too breathy. So breathy, sorry. What else? I'll just mention the Valentine's Day offerings again in the store, whether it's in the meat department. So this is something you could order at the meat department. They'll also have it ready to go. Everything you see right there. So if you're trying to have dinner at home and cook everything yourself, sweetheart dinner, $25. Kiss the cook for $35. Couples cuisine for $60. It's all packaged and ready to roll. If you want to come out to dinner on Valentine's Day, Chef Scott will be taking over the Market Grill Express where we're sitting and having some fantastic offerings, including one offer for Valentine's Day that includes a bottle of wine, a dozen roses, and a box of chocolates. So that would take care of everything that you need. Last but not least, the Bags for a Cause for the month of February are supporting the Muscatine Community YMCA. Once you go to the YMCA, $2.50 is the price. $1 from each bag goes to the YMCA for the month of February, right when you walk in near Starbucks, and it's a reusable grocery bag. It's just marvelous. Looking ahead, if I do the old Lutheran Living Senior Campus community calendar, how about this? Next week, Lori Lanford was here telling you about Strikers Special Needs Bowling League. That'll start on February 12th. Speaking of, February 17th, Special Olympics of Muscatine taking on the Muscatine Police and Fire Department at the Muscatine Community YMCA. Looking forward to refereeing that game once again. And listen, I can't remind you enough that Valentine's Day is next Friday. So for us, we're going to do a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then no show Thursday, Friday, because somebody has to coordinate all of the deliveries for Valentine's Day. And that person is super pumped about it. And it's also me. So I'm not going to have enough time to do this program. And it's a shame because we were going to talk to the president of the Tony Tone Fan Club. So we'll have to reschedule that with Steve. I'm sorry, Steve. It was your time to shine. Can we reschedule? Okay, Steve says sure. Fantastic. In the meanwhile, thank you for watching. Thanks to the guests today. What a fun show. So Kyle McDonald with Contrary Brewing. He is literally the brew master, making the brew and the potions, and somehow it tastes marvelous. I don't know how it works, but it does. And Mike Snook, who works here at Hy-Vee, also helps out at Contrary. Good guys. And then Lori Landfear with Stryker Special Needs Bowling League. She's been a part of that for years, and it starts again next Wednesday, right? Wednesday's the 12th at the Rose Bowl Bowling Alley for those that are looking to have some fun. Special needs bowling, great opportunity here in Muscatine. And shout out to Hy-Vee Bakery manager Roman Truitt with those giant fritters for $1. Make you holla while they last. They're going to go quick every Fritter Friday here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Thanks for watching this week. I appreciate it. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and team staffing. Cheyenne, am I missing anything? Okay, thank you. I thought I was missing something. Wear red today, will you? It's National Wear Red Day. Go red for women. And I am a fritter. I have been called worse. That is a great movie. If you've seen I Am Legend, it's like the same thing, except my character doesn't die at the end like Will Smith. Spoiler alert. All right, that movie's been out way too long for me to spoil it, right? I don't want you to also, spoiler alert, was Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker's dad. Is that a spoiler? Sorry, I don't want to ruin it for you. I know. I can't believe it either, right? I don't know. And Bruce Wayne's Batman. Oh, my gosh. We better go. Thanks for watching the program. Again, thanks to all the guests this week. They've been great, and you have too. Take care of yourself. Treat each other well. Open the door for people. Open the door. Smile at people, right? It can make a world of difference. And don't forget, also starting next Monday, Michaela Brunson Memorial Blood Drive at the Mississippi Valley Regional Blood Center Muscatine donor location next to the store. That's a lot to say. We're going to get out of here. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Watching Hy-Vee today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.